Hey YouTube, Moose Cow coming at you with another recap for Operation Devil Dogs. This is round 2. That has just concluded before we bounce into round 3 and expand the conflict of the globe into China. But anyway, here's what happened in round 2. Austria-Hungary went with the newly aligned Bulgaria, smashed the Romanians, Russia and the Romanians there, and just stockpiled right there. And then they regrouped most of their forces to stockpile in Dalmatia, and they managed to take Serbia without casualties with just 4 units. There were only 2 Serbians left there, and so they got Anyway, before I continue further, these are the casualties of the round. As you can see, the Ottomans lost their cruisers, Russia lost 1 cruiser, and a lot more neutrals either attacked or aligned. And we have some U.S. casualties in there, which I'll get to in a second. Very exciting stuff. Okay, so let's see. Backing up to Austria-Hungary. They did not, right? They did not, no, they did buy a tech. They just didn't get anything this turn. Field technology token. They did not get one. They bought one, but they didn't get anything from it. So it carries over to the next turn. And they got 2 fighters in action right now. And yeah, not terribly exciting on the surface level, but it's grown into a nice little stew. That's all I gotta say about that. Russia pulled back and just congregated in central Russia and eastern Ukraine. They received, they got a machine gun in their tech. They got a machine gun with their field technology role, and I believe they got one from the U.S. on the previous turn. And so then they placed that, if I'm recalling correctly. U.S. gave them an elite to place at this turn. So look forward to that coming into play. And the Far East reinforcements are on their way. Interestingly, they backed out of Western Ukraine entirely, just left it wide open for Germany to come in. They did attack 2 Germans in Poland with 3 infantry. He got 2 hits, and then Germany got 2 hits against him in return. And then, as you can see, Germany took it back. Let's see, that basically about sums up Russia. Germany, the big active thing that it is. Again, I'm playing Germany. Madman is playing Russia. Krautfather is playing as my teammate. He's playing the Austro-Hungarians and the Ottomans. Jonah and Madman kind of collectively are playing the Allies. And Jonah is the big, what we call the 3-headed monster of Britain, France, and Japan. And Madman is Russia and also US and Italy. All right, back to where I was. So Germany bought more naval units and took out Denmark with only 1 casualty. And then they finished taking Lorraine. They also managed to take Burgundy as well. And they had Belgium, but backed out of it mostly to just fortify in Lorraine. France, as you can see, took Burgundy back. And then the Brits came in and took out Belgium. Let's see what else. France activated Portugal, or aligned Portugal rather, for the Brits. And then down here in Africa, Germany branched out, smashed Belgian Congo, as well as snagged open British East Africa and Rhodesia. And then Britain reclaimed Rhodesia, and as you can see, from Somaliland, Italy declared war, as they can on turn 2 if they're not at war yet. So they attacked British East Africa, but got no hits, and neither did the German there. So nobody died right there, but it is contested. Jonah as Britain just built more in Egypt, pulled guys back from Sudan to Egypt, and fanned out to the Portuguese African colonies to get those extra units and IPCs, and just built more guys here. And then the fleet of units from the Anzac units that they brought over here, they landed them in Arabia, and then brought guys over from Siam, I believe, also to Arabia. They got 2 transports here. This dreadnought is still damaged, so it made its way over here as well. Britain smashed Afghanistan. Persia is still neutral, as you can see. And let's see, they sent a sub down over here, and then they brought all their other units over this way. Since Germany attacked Denmark, the Danish colonies got aligned to Britain because of that. And let's see, what else? That's about it. The Ottomans, they placed their trench works they had got on the previous turn down in Palestine. And the Russians left Caucasus wide open, so they just stepped up there with the units that they had. And then, unfortunately, the Ottomans left southern Anatolia open so that Italy could just snag it. Oh well, minor setback for the Ottomans. And then the Ottomans took their 2 cruisers to attack the 2 Russian cruisers, but one of his cruisers got lost to a Russian mine. And then, but the remaining cruiser did get to take out one of his cruisers on the way out. So the Black Sea is basically owned by the Russians at this point. And let's see, yeah, he's got the Ottomans have 2 fighters, one in Mesopotamia, one in Palestine. And yeah, basically the bulk of our forces are in Caucasus, Palestine, decent amount in Mesopotamia as well. And yeah, he pulled a guy out of Hijaz. Hijaz? It's probably Hijaz. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, so he's got a good amount of stuff here in Palestine. The Italians have reinforced Egypt since they're at war now. And the Italians got an elite. They bought a second tech token, but they did not get anything with the first tech token, but the second one they got an elite with. So there's now an elite up in Veneto. They did not push in, but they're preparing to strike, possibly. You know, meatballs take a while to cook, so I get it. Okay, and then on to the very exciting thing. The U.S. is still neutral. However, the U.S., maybe because of the German presence down here, the U.S. went ahead and just all-out attacked Mexico, attacking both territories of Mexico, which means they cannot leave this area, right? They cannot leave this area. But since they've attacked Mexico, once they are at war with Germany, Chile just automatically aligns to Germany. So for Germany to get Chile, they don't need to step units in here anymore. They just need to declare war, or U.S. needs to declare war against them. They just need to be at war, and then Chile will automatically become German controlled. So fun stuff, which gives me lots of ideas. Anyway. So that's that. And then over here in the Pacific, I forgot to touch on Japan. Japan basically just geared up, bought some transports, moved their stuff over here. They're just basically getting primed in position to expand, to start their expanding. The German Navy is down here in Sea Zone 10 and 72. So fun stuff. Yeah, you got to figure out the range, especially with like cruisers being able to move 3 at all times, and all other ships move 2. You know, got to be careful because those things have quite a bit of range. You know, here's like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. You know, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, so they can get right to 63. Yeah, 1, 2, 3. So they can come all the way over here. You know. Anyway, so there's that. Backing up to France. France liberated Gold Coast. Has just stepped up and liberated Gold Coast. These 2 Germans had moved back. And I'm trying to think of what else with France. Let's see. Yeah, basically just stockpiling in Picardy. And like I said, took out Burgundy. You know, usually they brought their Air Force in, then moved their Air Force into adjacent zone after the fact. Britain also brought a cruiser up here, and the Italians moved their fleet over here too to start convoying the Ottomans in their next turn. So the Ottomans are going to feel that soon. And then the British cruiser moved into the Med as well. And then there's one French transport in there right now. So yeah, that basically sums it up for round 2. Oh, actually, backing up to Germany. Germany took out there was one Russian infantry in Lithuania that was contested. So they moved some forces up there. Basically, you're going to see Russia getting tied up over here, or maybe you won't. Russia does have a fair amount of fast movers, so maybe they'll come and counter one of these, but who knows? We'll see. Yeah, basically that's about it from what I can tell, from what I can think of. Germany also bought an airship base. They used the Zeppelins that were in Belgium to attack the ground Burgundy and boost the ground forces that came in from Switzerland. Attacked there and then landed in Alsace, and Germany bought a airship base so they could restock those Zeppelins, or they could transport that one infantry because there's only one there. Each of them could technically transport 2, but there you go. So there's an airship base there in Alsace. So give those bombers some bombing flexibility. That is only 3 territories away from Paris, so they could just keep theoretically bouncing back and forth from there. But we'll see how that works. We'll see how that pans out. These are the fleets right now. They're having a standoff in the Atlantic, the North Atlantic here. Germany has 2 subs, 3 cruisers, dreadnought transport to Britain's dreadnought, 1 sub, 5 cruisers, 3 transports. So there you go. And I think I've covered everything. So yeah, on to round 3, and China's National Protection War will begin to tag on at the end of this turn. So looking forward to the next turn, and looking forward to sending more recaps out to you to look over. Stay tuned for more.